Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Miled Eats. If you've been here before, if you haven't, welcome to my channel. This is the show where I try to cook without burning down my kitchen, and as you can see, I have not so far. So this week's episode, or month's episode, because I have no consistent programming, is shepherd's pie, or cottage pie, for the exact term of what I'm doing. And shepherd's pie is basically a UK dish, and it's meat and potatoes, for the simplest explanation. The best explanation is it's a bed of savory meat and vegetables with a cloud of fluffy mashed potatoes baked on, like, I don't know, it's delicious. A lot of YouTubers have been making this dish, so I thought I'd throw my hat into the ring and try it myself. And I am very happy with the results, as I am with most of what I do, most of what I make. And it's pretty easy, no crazy ingredients required. And I think the best way you can make this dish is if you have leftover mashed potatoes, because I find myself in a situation where I have made too much mashed potatoes and I need a way to get rid of that. So this is great for that. And the only crazy ingredient you need is Worcestershire sauce. Don't ask me how to spell that, but it's pretty common in grocery stores in America. If it's not, I'm sorry, you could use soy sauce, I think, because that's kind of the same purpose. It's to add umami. Umami is one of those flavors you have where it's like savory but like salty. If you want to learn more about umami, you should watch Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, and it'll explain to you what umami actually is. It's a documentary on Netflix. It is hosted by Samin Nusrat, and she's amazing, but I digress. So yeah, it's a pretty easy recipe, and I hope you try it. So without further ado, here's the video. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna peel 2.5 pounds of russet potatoes. Then you're gonna dice them into big chunks. Then add them to a pot of cold water and making sure they're completely submerged, and then boil them. Then you're gonna dice 3 small carrots and 6 button mushrooms. You can use any type of mushroom as long as they're small cubes. Then dice a medium yellow onion. Then you're gonna fry 1.5 pounds of ground beef on a very hot pan, no oil. Make sure not to touch it till it's browned on the bottom, and then you can flip it like a hamburger, and this makes it the most flavorful. Then when the meat is cooked, grab a masher and mash the pieces for consistent sizes. Season with salt and pepper generously, and move that to the side while we cook our veggies. Then add a tablespoon of butter to your pot and let that melt and bubble. Then add your mushrooms, onions, carrots, and garlic, and celery, and salt it, and pepper it, and let that mix with some tomato paste, about 2 tablespoons, cooking off the flavor of the can for about 2 minutes. Then add a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, actually 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and chopped thyme, and then your beef stock. All measurements are in the description below. Once it's bubbling, add back the beef and mix it well. Finally, add 1 cup of frozen peas. Once you can stick a fork in the potatoes they're cooked, drain them and mash them well with the potato masher or a ricer. And in a separate saucepan, melt a stick of butter and add half a cup of milk and let that simmer. Then add that on top of the potatoes and mix it well. Then add parmesan and 1/3 cup of creme fraiche and mix again. Make sure to season with salt and pepper to taste. Get a glass baking dish or a Pyrex and spread the meat mixture evenly across the bottom and pat it down to avoid any air pockets. If you have any extra mixture, you can freeze it and make it for another time. Then layer your mashed potatoes evenly and gently on top of the mixture, making sure not to disrupt the meat. Then using a fork, create some lines to add some texture to the top of the pie. Once this is in the oven, it's going to brown really well. Then grate some parmesan and some gruyere cheese on top. All the measurements are in the description below, by the way. Put it in the oven at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. Let that sit for 20 minutes before you serve so that it doesn't fall apart. Once it's set, cut up a nice piece, serve it on a plate with some chives or sour cream or just a simple salad. And that is how you make shepherd's pie. So we're gonna try this together and see how it turned out. So good. Mashed potatoes are nice and fluffy. Meat is savory and delicious. Let's see if you can get a close up. Maybe not. You can add whatever vegetables you want to it, but peas are highly recommended. And yeah, I really hope you try this recipe, and if you do, send me the pictures. And thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you hated it, give it a thumbs down and tell me why in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.